It's finally starting to warm up, and you know what that means? It's almost grilling season. And if you're like me, you probably put your grill away dirty. So today, I'm gonna show you what it takes to clean a pellet grill. We're gonna go over all of the components, and I'm gonna show you how to clean them properly. So stick around, see how we do it. If you're new here, I'm here to show you that backyard barbecue can be fun and easy. So be sure to subscribe to my channel and ring that notification bell. Be sure to like the video and write me a comment. Let me know what you think. Now let's get started. Now today we're on location. I'm gonna be cleaning my dad's Camp Chef Woodwind Wifi 24. But everything that we go over today can apply to any pellet grill because those major components are pretty much the same across the board. So we are going to do a top to bottom cleaning on everything inside the grill and everything that you need to be aware of for this next grilling season. So let's get into it. Now, when you go to the hardware store, you're gonna see an entire shelf full of different grill cleaners. And I wanna let you know now that they're not all created the same. So I brought 4 of my grill cleaners with me today. I've got my Simple Green Heavy Duty Barbecue. I've got my Goo Gone Oven and Grill Cleaner. I've got my Citrus Safe. And I've got some Parker & Bailey Barbecue and Grill Cleaner. The reason why I brought these is to show you how they're different. For example, Goo Gone Oven and Grill Cleaner. It says right on here, surface safe. But you have to be aware that it's not safe for all surfaces. If you read the back of the bottle on any of these bottles, you'll see that there are certain materials that you shouldn't use this on. And that's because there's harsh chemicals in there that can harm the surface. For example, this Goo Gone says do not use on painted surfaces. If you're familiar with the Camp Chef Woodwind Wifi, you'd know that more than 50% of this grill is a painted surface. So we have to be careful what we use this on. That's why I brought Citrus Safe, and that's why I brought the Simple Green. Why? Because these don't contain the harsh chemicals, and they're not gonna hurt these painted surfaces. I also brought the Parker & Bailey because I've used it before back in the day when I used to cook on a stainless steel gas grill, and it did such a great job at cleaning up those stainless steel components. Because this is a Woodwind Wifi 24, and we've got that stainless steel lid, I wanted to make sure that it was shined up and ready for this spring. All right, I'm gonna take you for a little trip here on this Woodwind Wifi. We've got that stainless steel lid, and as you can see, it's kind of gunked up a bit. It's dirty, put many hours of use in. You can see we got some grease dripping down the front. It's dusty from being stored for the winter. But what I want to show you is on the inside. You can see all of those grates are nice and dirty. You've got your drip pan covered with crud and grease, a lot of grease on the inside of the chamber. So that's what I want to show you today, is what we need to focus on when we're cleaning these grills. So let's get started. All right, so it's time to get inside of this Camp Chef. Now, one thing that I like to do is I like to work my way from the top down to the bottom. And what I mean by that is I like to brush my grates off first. Want to start there and work my way all the way down to the bottom of the chamber. So I got one of these grill brushes here, and I'm just going to go through and scrape all of these down. And we flip those over. That way we can get both sides nice and clean. And like I said, working from the top to the bottom, the reason why I do that is so that as the dirt and grime fall down, I'm not re-cleaning the same surfaces over and over again. So once we get these scraped down pretty good, I'm gonna remove them completely from the pit, which I think we're about ready. Now that we got those upper racks out of the way, we're gonna get in here and do the same with these larger or the main racks here. And we're gonna spend a little bit more time with these later, but I'm knocking off all of the larger old leftover food and all of that grime down, like I said, working from the top all the way to the bottom. And as you can see, all of that grime that we just scraped off is now collecting there on that drip pan. My next order of business, that's a plastic spatula. I don't like to scratch up the surface, especially when I'm working on these painted surfaces. So these are one of my favorite tools when it comes to cleaning the grill. What I want to do is take and scrape anything off the walls, anything off this drip tray. You want to clean these vents. You'll see those here. You want to make sure those are clean and open. We're going to scrape all of this grime down into the bottom of the chamber. Look at that grime. Now, some of you are probably gonna say, you know what? I've never cleaned my grill this thoroughly. Well, apparently you don't care about your food, because I can tell you right now that when you're burning in a dirty pit you can taste and smell that grease burning. And to be honest with you, it's a hazard because you're more susceptible to grease fires. You could see I'm just getting all kinds of soot and grease and dirt and grime off of this. It's really cleaning up nicely. Now that we got the majority of the walls and edges cleaned up pretty good, we're gonna get back onto this, and I'm gonna scrape any of this. And honestly, you can use your wire brush for this. And in this case, this is my wire-free tool. Just get in here, rough it up a bit. It's gonna loosen up all that dirt, that grime, that grease. Now I'm gonna take my spatula and I'm just gonna scrape, get in there with this. You could see how much grime is actually coming off of that. Look at that. Look at that. We'll just throw that down into the chamber. And like I said, don't forget to clean out these vents here. And if you notice, I'm doing all of this cleaning. I still haven't sprayed any bit of cleaner yet. You want to make sure that you get as much of this off before you're going to make what appears to be a muddy mess. So we're just going to keep scraping through here and get this cleaned up, get a lot of this grime off of here. Now that we got quite a bit of a mess up here, it's scraped off pretty good. I'm gonna use a shop vac here. Just get as much of this off as I possibly can. I see a few areas that I didn't get well and good enough yet. So I'll get in here and scrape them. We've got it pretty well cleaned up now. I'm gonna take some of this Goo Gone and I'm just gonna be careful and just spray a nice light coat. Careful not to get it on any of the painted surfaces here. And we're just using this as a degreaser to help break down any of that remnants of grease. You can see it's already working. I'm just spreading this around a little bit and I'm actually gonna take it out of the pit. I don't think you can hear it, but it's fizzing. That's good. While that's working, we're just gonna take it out and set it off to the side. All right, I wanted to show you the one thing that most people forget to clean, and that is the vent that goes to your chimney. And you can see there is a ton of grime. It's best to take a wire brush. I'm gonna use my spatula here and I'm just gonna scrape this away. Look at that, holy smokes. And now in regards to that chimney, Camp Chef suggests that every 50 hours you go in and you clean that off. And just keep an eye on it. You could do it honestly every time you clean the grill. But in every 200 hours to take the chimney off and actually inspect it. You know, you want to make sure that there's no blockages or anything like that because that could lead to a fire or poor performance on your grill. We're just going to continue on what we've been doing, and that's scraping things down. This here is Camp Chef slide and grill technology. This is how you get your direct and indirect heat. This slides away, opens up to the fire pot there, or covers it up. There's a ton, look at this ash. Holy smokes, look at that. That calls for the vacuum. So I wanna get in here and really suck up all that ash there. Holy smokes, is there a lot. Might as well get down in the chamber while I'm in here. We'll probably make another trip with the vacuum again. Push this slide and grill out of the way. Oh, man. You're gonna wanna get down in here, clean the fire pot out. Vacuum all around. Okay, so if you imagine that the drip pan is in here, it angles down towards this side of the grill. This trough right here is where the grease and grime travel to your grease clean out. You wanna make sure that this trough is clean, because what happens if the grease doesn't properly exit the grill, you're very susceptible to grease fires. And as you can see here, there's a lot of crap down in there. Look at that. Mind you, this grill's been setting, so this grease is hardened up. That's okay. All right, that should be good for the grease trough. I'm gonna come over here, make sure that sliding grill is pushed in, and I'm gonna clean off the top of this plate here. This is kind of what guards the auger and everything, but there was a ton of grease and grime on top of that. You can see it's just caked up. And we're just gonna push that down in there. We'll get it with the shop vac here in a minute. Yeah, you can see, look at that. And while I'm in here, I'm going to scrape the inside of the chamber, knock down all the ash down to the bottom. You can see that just rolling off that. Do some scraping down here. We're gonna get in here one last time with the vacuum here. We're gonna clean the trough out real good. We're gonna get down into the bottom of the grill, clean up all that ash and soot, grease. So now I've got some of the citrus safe. This is safe on all surfaces. I'm just gonna spray the inside of this chamber down. And we'll give that a few minutes to sit, and I'll wipe it down. All right, we gave this a few minutes, so I'm just gonna get in here, just wipe this down. You could see it's taking quite a bit of grease and grime off. Look at that. And I would suggest wear gloves. I got my hands all dirty. I'm gonna use some of the Parker & Bailey, and I'm gonna get that down on the inside of this stainless steel lid. We'll give it just a moment here to penetrate, and we'll start cleaning that up. Now this may take a couple times to get this clean, but this was just after about 40 seconds. You can see how much that penetrated there in just that short amount of time. So we'll hit it again. And I laid a towel down in there just to make sure that anything that drips off of this gets caught. Any of the cleaners that I'm using today, I'm going to put a link to, that way you can find them really easily. All right, we gave it another minute, and man, that is coming nice and clean. Now you could sit here and spend all day trying to get every last little detail off. Real fine triple-aught steel wool will help with that. But you know what? We just want a nice clean grill. It doesn't have to be perfect. You can see that that shined up that lid really nicely though. A little bit of grime on this side. I'll grab it with my spatula, see if I can get some of that off. Maybe I'll hit you with a before and after here. Since this Parker & Bailey works so well, I'm gonna use it to clean these grates off. I'm just gonna spray it down and let them set off camera. Not a big deal, you don't need to see me cleaning these. So one of the most important components in these grills are the RTD here. So I've got some triple-aught steel wool. I'm gonna spray a little bit of my cleaner on here. And I'm gonna get in here and try and clean this up. You might have to remove it, but I'm gonna try my best to clean it up nice. Now I know you can see that. How much better does that look? That right there is what we use to monitor the pit temperature, and if that's dirty, the performance of your grill might suffer. So no matter what kind of pellet grill you've got, locate your temperature sensor or RTD or thermocouple, whatever style they use, and just clean it up with some triple-aught steel wool and a little bit of your grill cleaner. Now on some of these components down here, I'm gonna spray just a little bit of PAM on it, basically canola oil. That'll just help protect it, basically season it again. As you can see, we've got the grill cleaned up pretty good. It's time to get it put back together. We've got our drip tray here. We've got our lower racks here. And we clean these off with one of the cleaners. And we use some hot water and a rag to wipe them nice and clean. And we've got our upper racks. And you can see those are nice and shiny again. And I'm just gonna stack these like so. Keep them in the back. Now that we've got the inside cleaned up, put back together, let's shut it, let's clean the outside. And I'm just gonna use some of that simple green. We'll just spray the outside surfaces here. You know, Dad, I bought you this grill. Least you could do is keep it clean. I'm just gonna take me some paper towel and just wipe that clean. And we're gonna hit it with that Parker and Bailey on that stainless steel because it does such a great job. I'm gonna get it on that chimney cap there. We've got the grill all cleaned up. We've got a brand new bucket with a brand new foil liner. We're gonna hang this off to the side for start to a good and successful year. Whenever you go through and clean your grill, you always want to run it afterwards for a little bit. So we're going to run this for about a half hour, 350 degrees. It's going to take any remnants of the cleaners and burn them off. All right, so we'll come over here. The controller is already on. We're going to say set temperature. I'm going to turn this up to 350 degrees. I'm going to say confirm. We're gonna open this lid for that startup mode. We'll give this a chance to heat up. Now, since we stripped this of all the greases and oils, it might not be a bad idea to take a little canola oil spray and get down in here and just spray your drip pan. We're gonna spray the inside of the grill a little bit. We'll get onto those grates. While we're in that startup procedure, I wanna come over here and show you a few things that we've added to this Camp Chef Woodwind. We've got the foldable front shelf. It's super nice, adds some additional space, especially if you use that Sidekick attachment. You can just add the shelf to the front. It folds, stores out of place. Another thing that we've added, we added the caster wheel set. Even on the 24-inch model of the Woodwind, these are a lifesaver. It makes moving this grill simple, because I tell you what, when you've got a hopper full of pellets, and if you've got that Sidekick attachment and you've got that propane tank hanging off the back, this sucker can get heavy. And those caster wheels are a game changer. I'll put links down in the description for the wheels and for this foldable front shelf and for the Woodwind Wi-Fi 24. I suggest you take a look. Now the startup procedure is done. We're gonna close this lid, let the grill heat up. Just like any job well done, we need to take a look at our work. Let's check out the cleaned up Camp Chef Woodwind Wi-Fi 24. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video cleaning the Camp Chef Woodwind Wi-Fi 24. It doesn't matter what kind of pellet grill you have, you should do this several times a year, but there's no better time than doing it right now, just before grilling season. With that being said, Enjoy yourself this year, cook some great food, and I'll see you next time at Anderson's Smoke Show. You better be careful, you're not up in the video. If you walk in front of the camera, I might just put you in. And you can tell all your buddies, I'm on YouTube.